Hi, my fellow Americans. Are you proud to be American today?
Oh, I feel like a Republican in this filter. Yes, just like a Republican. And it's unsettling. I'm as nervous as a puppy at Kristen Ohm's house right now. I just keep pondering the crime wave that's sweeping the nation's restrooms currently.
It's like China bowed to the Don. They quietly lifted tariffs on $40 billion in U.S. goods. Winning.
Oh wow, $40 billion.
So I got a question for you Democrats.
I have some answers for you Republicans.
So my question is in regards to the tariffs and how the Democrats seem to think that it's just not working.
It's not working, just like your logic is not working.
But us logical people know that the tariffs are working. You have a job, and are you getting the promotion you're working hard for right now? See, most of us logical thinking conservatives, we understand that you got to put the hard work in right now for a better tomorrow.
This dude really said tariffs are like working towards a promotion. That's not just a freaking stretch, my guy. That's some full-blown Cirque du Soleil logic. Tariffs don't build infrastructure. They raise prices on damn near everything, while supply chain snaps like gas station cheap glasses. This isn't planting seed for another future. It's setting your house on fire and calling it heating innovation. And don't even try that logical conservative nonsense. What's logical about kneecapping American manufacturing who relies on parts from overseas? Or farmers who can't sell crops because of retaliation tariffs? Make it make sense, bestie. This ain't delayed gratification. This is literally Trump's economic sabotage, dressed up as some fucking mobster tough talk. You're literally not studying for success. You're flushing billions down the drain while pretending inflation is just another phase. Meanwhile, China's laughing, shelves are thin, and your Walmart cart costs 30% more. But sure, keep thinking that this is 4D chess while the rest of us are out here dodging the fallout from your fantasy econ 101.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you respectfully. Here's the thing. We had free trade agreements with some countries, partnerships. They were partnerships because here in the United States, we don't naturally produce everything that we need in order to manufacture the things that we consume. I'm going to use lumber as an example. Do we have trees here in the United States? Yes. Is it a renewable resource? Yes, it can be planted. But here's the thing. Canada naturally has the most trees. So we had a partnership with Canada so that we could have access to lumber, paper, pulp, things like that. We don't have enough open, free land by any means to produce that resource in the amount that we need due to how much of it we consume. In the ways of produce, you have to think about climate. You need different types of climate to grow different types of food. This is where our free trade agreement, aka partnership, with Mexico comes into play because they are naturally warmer. They have natural year-round humidity. It is warmer there, so they can grow more year-round in their climate. And for those things that are manufactured elsewhere, like China, the labor is cheaper over there, and that's why a lot of companies, corporations, move their labor over there. They move their manufacturing over there. Again, it was a partnership so that the companies could save money and make money at the same time. There are so many of you that are looking at these other countries as villains, and that's not what it was. They were partnerships, hand in hand, working together, making sure that we could produce products, grow food, and that everybody had access to it. Now, do I think that we should make or manufacture more things here in the United States? And the answer to that is yes. Yes, I do. But I also think that there was another way to go around it. Not to just like cold cut us off from the world and isolate us from the world and make enemies of our allies. There should have been a period of time put into place, something around 2 to 4 years, for manufacturers and producers to come back into the States, get their factories built, get their workforce hired, and get help like honest help to our farmers and our ranchers so that they could start producing more food. But again, with food, especially produce, you need a certain climate to grow certain things. We don't have a whole lot of that here in the United States. So with all due respect, I'm just asking you to think outside the box and think about the many different reasons that we had free trade agreements, that we had partnerships, that we had allies in this world. And now we do not. And we are going to be the ones that are going to suffer for it, not Donald Trump. On top of the tax that we pay on our payroll and the tax that we already pay on the products that we buy at the store, we now have an increased tax that we are paying. Those other countries do not pay that when they bring their products over here. That is floated to us. We are paying those price hikes because those companies, they're not going to flip the bill. They're going to pass that on to you and I, the consumer. These countries were not our enemies. These countries are not the villains. They were our allies. They were our partners. They were our friends. And Donald Trump has been isolating us from the rest of the world to fit whatever narrative he is trying to build. And y'all are believing everything that comes out of his mouth. And I don't understand that. I really don't. He is not in this for the people of America. And some of you will see it soon. Some of you will never see it. You will continue making excuse after excuse and allowing him to move the goalpost. United we stand, divided we fall is not just an American thing. It is a worldwide thing. We had partnerships with different areas of the world for many different reasons. So I hope that you've seen this. I hope that you've heard me out. I, tried to deliver this the most respectful way that I possibly could. I just want everybody to open their eyes and realize what's going on and what we're facing, because this is not good. It's not good. Tariffs are not good. They're not.
Okay, so I, in real time, explained to my mom how tariffs work. And for the first time in a long time, I saw her face change, almost as if something clicked. I make bracelets. I buy my beads from China most of the time off of eBay or Amazon, but they generally come from China. I've always charged $5 for a bracelet. Now, if I pay $10 for a strand of beads, and they put a 100% tariff on that, that strand of beads goes from $10 to $20. It doubles in price. That strand of beads only makes 2 bracelets. So they've actually put 145% tariff. So that strand of beads would go from $10 to $25 with the tariffs. And it makes 2 bracelets. I can't eat selling 2 bracelets for $10 when I just spent $25 on beads. So who's going to have to up their price on bracelets? Me. Because otherwise there's no point in buying beads for $25, making the bracelet and selling it for $10. And literally, it was like a little switch went off in our brain that consumers ultimately will pay for these tariffs.
According to this person, China bowed down to the United States by lifting tariffs on $40 billion worth of U.S. goods.
Looks like China bowed to the Don. They quietly lifted tariffs on $40 billion in U.S. goods. Winning.
Oh wow, $40 billion. These days, that barely covers like a week of groceries from Costco. Also, let's not act like China just rolled over. They didn't lift those tariffs because they lost. They lifted those tariffs because it helps their economy. That's also called mutual benefits. Also, what you're feeling right now is jealousy because the government actually cares about the Chinese businesses. Meanwhile, the US slapped 100% tariff on what? Chinese EVs, solar panels, and medical supplies. You know, the medical supplies that we all actually need? That's not winning. That's more like slashing your own tires because the gas station offered a better price to somebody else. Also, keep in mind that China sold over $575 billion worth of goods to US last year? So 40 billion, that's like pocket change. But sure, if it makes you feel better, you could pretend that China bowed. Just try not to pull a muscle while you're lifting that made in China blender while you're bragging about it. All the free share we allowed to be sold here, China has taken advantage of US tariff for years. Our government is to blame too. I get where you're coming from. Let me give you some context that you're missing. First thing, tariffs don't punish the country that's exporting the goods. They raise prices for consumers in the countries importing them. So when US put tariffs on Chinese products, it doesn't hurt China as much as it hurts America, who now has to pay more for the stuff. If you don't believe me, go on CNBC, listen to all the CEOs talk this week, because this is the reporting week, and they've been going on to CNBC, do interviews, and you can hear them all say, we're doing our best to keep prices down. We're going to hold our price until we can't hold anymore. Also, China didn't force anyone to buy their goods, right? Like, US companies chose to manufacture over there because it's cheaper, meaning higher profits for the companies and lower prices for consumers. That's not China taking advantage. That's corporation taking advantage of global supply chain. If you really want to talk about who to blame, we have to include US policymakers and businesses who push to offshore to begin with. And this is my final point. You need to understand, manufacturing will never be back in USA. Okay? Never. Just get that out of your head. It will never ever happen. If you don't believe me, Google CEO Mattel. Like, he said it perfectly.
Hi, my fellow Americans. Are you proud to be American today?
You are not lazy. You've been squeezed.
Oh, what a hard working day. As an American, I have to work over 70 hours per week. I have to pay off a lot of goddamn bills. I have to pay off everything, and the goddamn student loans and property tax. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Oh, but at least I'm from the greatest country all around the world. We're the only people enjoy freedom. America is the greatest country all around the world. Oh, hooray! So that's the propaganda in the United States. Even your life sucks, but they make you feel happy because they make you realize, oh, even your life sucks, but you're an American. Oh, that's the greatest country all around the world. Oh, you should be very happy about it. Oh, even I worked so hard for so many goddamn hours today, but I'm American. Wow, that's nice. I'm so proud to be American. Since the United States of America is a highly competitive society and the social security system in the United States sucks, and people, they have to work so hard. There is no work-life balance right over there. And people are risky because they're probably going to lose their job tomorrow, and since the social security system there sucks, what are they going to do? So it's a highly competitive society, and the national pride could make people feel comfortable, and therefore they're not going to complain about their own country, and they're going to work their ass off all the time and still be proud of an American. That's the power of propaganda. And also, it's a systematical thing. It's not just about propaganda. And the public education in America as a developed country sucks. Because, so a lot of people probably realize, a lot of Americans, they're lacking of the basic knowledge about other countries all around the world. I think that might be someone want to create such a situation. Because if there is no comparison, America is usually the greatest. And also, the media in the United States, like, mostly report things inside the United States and rarely report things outside of the United States. When they're talking about things outside the United States, mostly negative. Oh, Europe is going down. Oh, China is a shitty third world communist country. Even I have worked so goddamn hard, but I'm lucky, I'm American. I'm only the human being in this world that enjoy freedom. Hooray, America! God bless America! Therefore, propaganda makes America great again. propaganda makes people be over proud of everything and arrogant and close-minded, and which is good for the elites in the United States. The elites in the United States are the smartest people all around the world, while a lot of people, they're just being fooled. Absolutely, it's okay to be proud to be American, but the thing is that don't be close-minded and don't be fooled.
You are not lazy. You've been squeezed. And I can prove it. I'm Chinese. I've lived both China and West. And I've been watching what's happening here in America. People work harder than ever. Some working 2 or 3 jobs and still can't afford rent, food, or healthcare. Students are buried in debt. One hospital with it can ruin a family. And this is the richest country in this world. Something is not right. You've told the problem is Democrats or Republicans, but while you fight each other, billionaires are buying your homes, your laws, and your future. You almost feel like the Civil War never really ended. It just changed shape. While we are stuck fighting each other, someone else is winning. In China, we've seen what happens when people rise up against systems that forget the people. Twice. It's just in 1 century. Maybe it's time to stop looking left and right and start looking up. The 1% isn't a theory, it's math. If you've been feeling like the game is rigged, you are not crazy. You are just waking up. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm just here to ask, what if the real problem isn't who we were being told it is?
Do you want to know why US will never bring manufacturing back? Because it's a fake narrative. And what I mean by this is that in the public news, we like to say we're making a deal with China and bring back manufacturing for their own people. But the truth is, they're just making a deal. They're making a deal with China to ensure that they can still do international business in China in a way that they can get as much profit while not sharing back that profit back to the citizen and the people working in that company. And it doesn't matter if you're located in China or located elsewhere. And that's how international business are done, and it is backed up by the United States military. That is why you hear CIA doing coup and doing all these assassinations and things like that to make sure the ones in charge are always making a deal.